YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back with another 7-round mock, and this one's for the Washington Redskins, who have 9 picks in the upcoming draft. We're going through every single team in draft order, eventually get through all of them, so I apologize for the wait for those of you who have teams kind of at the end there. So we'll get to them, though. Other NFL draft content, NFL content in general on the channel. Right before we get started, subscriber goal, it's at 20K. If you don't subscribe to this channel, we got plenty of NFL content here, and our goal is at 20K, so please help us get there. Click the like button, we much appreciate it. Let's get on to the Redskins mock. And this first pick, there's some talk this guy can actually slide a bit, maybe even to early second. I'm not buying it at all. If I'm the Redskins, I'm taking him here, and I think it's realistic, and I think it's what they need, and I would love this pick. So I gave him N'Keal Harry, wide receiver from Arizona State. A little spoiler alert, he's my number 1 wide receiver. I guess that's maybe it's a little surprising. A lot of people have DK Metcalf at the top. I'm a big N'Keal Harry fan, and for the Redskins' sake, I'm a believer in Keenum. I think Keenum's capable of winning some games. That offensive line is good. If it's healthy, it's got to stay healthy. But look at what the Keenum did with the Vikings, but he did have Diggs and Thielen, so they definitely need upgrades at receivers. And a guy like N'Keal Harry who really can do it all. That's why I like Harry so much. There's a bunch of receivers that get first-round talk, even early second-round talk, and they do specific things. And there's a few of them that really do all. They can do all the tricks, all right? And N'Keal Harry is one of those guys. So I like N'Keal Harry. I think the Redskins would like him a lot, and I think this would be a very solid pick, and it's what Keenum needs here. And, I don't know if the Redskins don't have a ton of glaring needs. Receiver is the biggest one to me. It's a glaring need, but they don't have a bunch of them. So I think they can afford to take a receiver here. I really like N'Keal Harry. Let's see if they make it happen. On to the second round. This is the bottom line where Ja'Kai Polite will drop. And the Redskins, this is a grade A mock, best case scenario that's realistic, and they would love to have him out there. They lost Preston Smith. They need a pass rusher. Maybe it's a rotation guy, but this year at some point ends up being a starter. I know they like Ryan Anderson stepping up, but Ja'Kai Polite has elite traits as a pass rusher. He needs to work on the run-stopping ability, and he didn't do too well in the meetings, apparently. Maybe his attitude really isn't. I think he definitely loves the game. There's no doubt about that, so it's nothing about that. Maybe his attitudes towards the coaches, something along those lines, but he has upside, and if he drops to here, you cannot pass on him, which at this point it sounds like it's realistic. He's a first-round talent, but he's going to drop somewhere here in the second round possibly. So the Redskins will have to take him if he's sitting there, and it'll be a great pick. Next pick for the Redskins is Blake Cashman from Minnesota. A guy that can potentially go in the late second, but I think early third's possible here, and they definitely need another linebacker on the inside to step up, maybe start right away. And I think Cashman is a sleeper guy down here that can actually be an instant impact for you. So, flies around with the ball, doesn't really miss too many big tackles, important tackles. So, a lot to like about Cashman. And again, I think he could be a guy. The Redskins could get a starting middle linebacker here in the third round. Another third-round pick, I had him going with Will Grier, the quarterback, West Virginia. They could take a look at Stidham. They could take a look at Finley. Will Grier, actually I see some similarities with Keenum's game, so I think Grier can actually sit and learn from him a little bit. I saw some similarities, so I like the fit there. But they very well, Daniel Jones is an option. I would not agree with the pick in the first round. What if he's there in the second round? A lot of different scenarios. Like I said, Stidham and Finley could be options too. But Will Grier, I think, could benefit for sure from, sitting behind Keenum and learning a little bit here from this offense. So that one makes sense. They got 2 third-round picks, so they can use the second one on Grier. Next pick, I got them. It's not the 4th round, though. They don't have a 4th-round pick. One with the 5th-round pick here is their next pick, and Ross Pierschbacher from Alabama. Played some center. Then they slide him to guard, though, and another guy that can compete, possibly to play right away at the guard position for them. Next pick, another 5th-round pick. I am taking Sheldrick Redwine from Miami, the safety. He's starting to move up boards a little bit, too. He could possibly go as early as 4th round. Had a very good combine, very athletic guy, flies around with the ball. I think he's good next to Landon Collins. But again, they don't really need a 100% need Redwine to start right away. They have Everett, but Redwine could be the future there next to Landon Collins, and I like that duo a lot for them. Next pick, I'm taking a corner. For depth right now, they definitely could use some depth. They're pretty good on their starters. They got Fabian Rowan Norman and Greg Stroman, who I liked a lot last year. They got him. He's stepping up. But Webster could be part of their future. And, a year ago, it looked like Webster was going to be a 2nd or 3rd round pick. So kind of drops off this year. Kind of all the Ole Miss guys, really, except for DK Metcalf, I guess. So much talent there. I don't know what was going on there, but Webster is, pretty good-sized corner here, and yeah, he has a lot of upside because, again, at one point he looked like an earlier pick. So if he's sitting down here, which is very realistic in this year's draft, you go take a chance on him, and he definitely could use more corner depth. It's really, they got the 3 right now. Next pick, I had them going. Let's pair the pass rushers from Florida together, Ja'Kai Polite and CeCe Jefferson. But what we're going to do here, for the Redskins' sake, we're going to move CeCe Jefferson to the 3-4 DN spot, which makes a whole bunch of sense for me. He's not going to start right away, no chance, but he's got some upside. Maybe he could put on a little size for that spot, but I thought he wasn't the most athletic guy for the pass rush spot. I think you move him on, you keep him on the line in that defense, and it makes a whole bunch of sense to me. He very well could be a backup on a 4-3 end team. Polite's going to be an outside linebacker on this team, but I like CeCe Jefferson at the end spot in their 3-4. And it makes a lot of sense to me, not really because I had them going with Ja'Kai Polite, but I just want to see him, transition to a 3-4 end. I think it makes a little more sense to me. Redskins can do that for him. And their last pick here in the mock, another receiver. Yeah, they need, they could use another receiver even earlier in this, but they get a depth guy here. Cody Thompson can play in the slot, but he's a big-time special teamer as well. So, again, yeah, they could use another receiver earlier in this. They lost Crowder, and they already needed receivers. So, could be on the lookout for something a little earlier, possibly. But pretty good haul here for the Redskins. I think the first thing is really their offensive line has to stay healthy, and I think they can be a very solid team. Really, the team has to be healthy. Last year, they were easily gonna make the playoffs if they weren't so beat up. But the first thing is the offensive line seems to be getting hurt every year. It's a pretty solid offensive line if they're all healthy. So we'll see. We'll see how Keenum does. Let's see if they reach for a quarterback. It's a possibility. I just hope they start to value the receiver position. They never really did it. They're going to need to. You saw what Keenum did, with a guy like Diggs and a guy like Thielen. You need to get some of these guys for him. So let's see what they do. But that's going to do it for the Redskins mock, going through every single team in draft order. Plenty of other content on the channel. Plenty of content on these platforms here, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, links in the description for all of these. So please check them out. They'll be much appreciated. That's going to do it, though, for this one. Thanks for everyone's support. It's been fantastic. Thanks for watching this video. Goodbye.